And with those changes, as you stated, no major disruptions, but it does seem like it may be a educational curve to get over for some people. So, Dr. Klaus, do you think, or I should ask, what do you think should be done to get over this educational curve so that business owners and new users can do this transition smoothly?
Well, I think the main educational curve is on people that want to run validators and want to work on the infrastructure. The whole idea, as was just mentioned, is keep the merge as smooth as possible, that as an end user, I don't really realize, like, if I'm sitting in a train, I don't really realize what train it is. I just realize I make it there faster or less fast, but I don't need to know how the engine works. So the main educational things I see is really on the validator level, which have totally different requirements right now, how to run a good validator, and make sure in the transition everything goes right. So I'm a little bit less optimistic about the fork. So I do see a little bit of fraud potential in there, but that should be a short-term issue that hopefully will be resolved relatively quickly when everything has settled. I do fear there's a little bit of chaos in the beginning, especially if they use the same signatures. So signature on one fork is valid on the other one. So I would also be very careful what I do on the forks, that you don't have replay attacks and all these kinds of things. But for the end users, ideally, nothing will change. And they just get an ecosystem that at some point will operate a little bit more efficient, more scalable. And all the other things will then come with future updates that this enables, that also will enable new things on the application side that we then need to understand. And maybe a little bit also appreciate the complexity. Proof of work I can explain to my mother. Explaining how proof of stake protocol works is a little bit more difficult. We have impossibility results that actually prove that consensus is impossible. We do it anyhow. So there's a lot of things going on under the hood, and at least people should appreciate this is not trivial what's going on in there. And you need to be a little bit careful how to handle those protocols and don't bake your own one. But that's
I tend to agree with that, right? I mean, I actually gave the Ethereum Foundation a bit of an earful. I said it was a bit disingenuous to call it a merge, because you are effectively making people think that there's no risk over this merge, right? When actually there are potential risks and things to watch out for. So like Klaus mentioned, I think we should highlight that over the merge, you need to make sure that everything is stable and in place, before you start making transactions, because it could potentially result in financial losses if not managed properly.
Mm-hmm. And Preston, how do you feel about that, as far as with you being a developer and seeing how these things work under the hood? What steps are you taking to make sure that it is easy enough for your mom or your grandmother to use Ethereum?
Yeah, the blockchain UX problem, that's a huge problem to discuss. Like we're seeing here is that the merge of the Beacon chain and Ethereum mainnet, that's really where the word merge is coming from, where we've been running proof of stake along the side for over a year. And the idea here is that we upgrade the network to switch the consensus from proof of work to proof of stake. If there is an effort to continue that proof of work chain, I would really be wary of that. Even if there is maybe some financial incentive, maybe there's some free tokens there. Like the other panelists are saying, there's some risk there. There are replay attacks if the chain ID is not changed, and other issues that could come along. I also think that I've heard some rumors that the effort wants to remove some recent upgrades, some recent things that have been really helpful for usability, like EIP 1559, which has more elastic gas pricing. I've also heard that a lot of major DeFi protocols are not planning to support such an effort, which is really kind of the main driver behind Ethereum. So do your due diligence right there. Really kind of make sure you know what you're doing before you're doing it. And if you really are uncomfortable with this kind of thing, the advice to wait a little while for the dust to settle, that is really great thing to do. If you do nothing, with your wallet, it will still be there. There's nothing you have to do to participate in the upgrade. You don't have to opt in or anything like that. It's just going to happen. So if you're worried, just wait, for the dust to settle and it'll be all right.